of good governance, whether it's promoters, whether it's founders, independent directors, executive directors, women directors, or even CEOs, CXOs play a very critical role. Mentor My Board today is a brand known to the finance minister of our country. We launched various initiatives like the Boardroom Mastery for promoter directors. We launched WOM for women directors, Ideal for independent directors. We believe in continuous learning, and hence our Board Tattva series and the coffee meets are a continuous engagement for our members. Blogs, videos, and various other tools are available on the platform of Mentor My Board. Do join us in this momentum of good governance by logging into the platform of Mentor My Board. In the pursuit of building better governed boards, with effective directors, of course, we strive to create a community of 100,000 directors and create opportunities for board aspirants too. Platform of Mentor My Board acts as an enabler for us to reach, drive these sessions and initiatives pan India, and even international governance perspectives can be brought together for you. With this sole motive, we have come up with this Member Spotlight series as well, which focuses on recognition, growth, and the credibility for our members under the spotlight. I'm very happy to welcome our very own Divya Sriram to this Member Spotlight series. Welcome, Divya.
Few weeks.
Hello, Divya. Welcome.
Hi, Neha. Thank you so much. It was such a wonderful introduction and happy to be associated with Mentor My Board.
Yes. So let me give you a very small, list of awards that Divya has earned for herself. So she is the best businesswoman of 2023 under the Real Superwoman Award category by FSIA, the Real Superwoman 2023 awardee by Forever Star India Awards, featured in the Femina magazine in April 2023 edition, Onwards and Upward article, the Visionary Woman 2023 Award for Engineering Sector by Vido, recognized as Iron Lady for creating an era led by women by 11 organizations. Sorry, by IL organization. Remarkable Awards 2023, exemplary contributions towards the society, so on and so forth. So I have many to say, but then, looking at the paucity of time, I'll cut short.
Thank
But
you.
thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much,
much.
Divya, for joining in. And I loved reading out all the accolades. So please do give us a little brief about your journey. How have you been in your life managing so many things, juggling work and establishing yourself in such a different industry, which is predominantly male dominated?
Absolutely. Thank you, Neha. It's been an honor to be in the engineering industry. For I would like to start it that way. I'm the director of two manufacturing companies, and I also have a 3-year-old startup company, which is also into the electrical line. While I'm not from engineering or electrical line, per se, I
Oh,
did my master's in human resource management, and that was my forte. And my ambition was to become a trainer and coach someday. So my early career began with training and development. I was into an apparel and garment industry. That's how my career began.
okay.
And by force or by real intentions, I don't know. I was always associated with engineering industries like TVID Paris Group and so many others like that, where I have done my projects and freelancings for those kind of companies. And always it was fascinating journey for me because I got so much to learn. That one factor is
True.
always still, it's like an igniting spark till date. I want to keep learning something and I want to keep implementing something. And then when I got married to my husband, there was a family business which was existing, and they said, "Why do you want to work for somebody else?" So when we got married, we took over a company which was in the ruckus, which was in the bottom of being sick unit. So we took over
Oh,
the sick unit. It is an engineering industry, and I'm only familiar with administration, labor welfare, and HR aspects. And for me, it
true.
was a cultural shock because it was a 750 square feet shed that was acquired. So it has always been an inspiration for me to learn from the people who are in the shop floor. I think my learning truly for what I am today, I owe it to them, because if they did not tell me the true and honest, their workmanship, I would not have learned. So
Oh,
that's
that's
how
so
it
nice.
began. And slowly I started to juggle multiple caps where the need arose. And I think it's always, I'm this curious girl who wants to, try and understand what is happening in other departments. How do we grow? How do we expand? So from the beginning, I had this vision that having seen the potential of the company, why can't we go big? Why are we limiting ourselves?
Hmm.
So we need not limit. There's no ceiling that is set over here, says you can only go up to here. So I always
True.
believed in shattering glass ceilings, and what are the avenues that we can explore? What are the areas, and what are the unexplored areas that we can tap and convert it into a market for ourselves?
Hmm.
So that's how
So
my
I
first.
from your journey is that you've always been learning, you've always been, uh, crazily learning things, various things, not, falling into the same line. And
Correct.
along with it, you've also managed to, come out of that glass ceiling and, come out of the box to think different avenues, which is really rare to find amongst women, because women generally, tend to be in the role where they have learned or gained that kind of experience, right? So we've seen women who are educated under HR would continue in the same field for years, but
Absolutely.
then you completely transformed from the traditional role to the current role that you're playing as a director of two companies. And then I know you are a mom of a sweet kid, and you keep on juggling between things. So if you can share your life history, like how do you juggle, how do you manage to do all the things, multiple things at one time?
Okay, so in the beginning days of acquisition of the company, it was overwhelming because being from a non-engineering background, I felt I should not be the one who is, getting the hit, or should not be a person who says yes for everything that people say. So it
Hmm.
was a very difficult role to first of all assume, and then I had to make my mind. It's all about the mind that we carry. It did not happen overnight or 2 3 months down the line. It definitely took its own course of time, but I did get into my role that suddenly one day you become the owner's wife. I didn't want to be called an owner's wife. So a woman who is not from an engineering background, but still it's okay. What are the qualities that I will need to develop? What are the qualities that, or the abilities that I require to run the show, is what I focused on. I did not put a hat that I'm the boss. You all should listen to whatever I say. No, it's never like that in my organization. And so I think that is one culture which has, been a win-win for me and also my team. Bringing in the right team was always important for me. Having an HR background, I believed in teamwork is, great work. Great work. It's not even something quantifiable, I would say. Genuine teamwork is important. For that, you should form the right kind of team. So as and when the need started increasing, we started setting SOPs. As and when it was required, we started to do practices that would, expand the governance of the company. It is very important to create a culture. What your policies are framed, it's not, any XYZ policy. It's all
True.
tailor made. It's all that is existing for Anil Engineering, giving the thought that this has to be for this company. Even my sister concern company, it's not the same. So it's the culture which is tailor made in this company. And I would also think that you need to get updated for yourself. You need to keep learning new things, upgrading yourself as a professional. What is required to sustain in the market? It's not just somebody you someday you're there in the business, you do a show and go. We have been a brand which is existing for over 52 years and we have to sustain it. So what are the aspects that we have to sustain? We have always made a checklist which would keep changing every year, similar to our strategies. So, and with regards to motherhood, I think I learned the time management matrix. I believed following Stephen Covey's management matrix helped me great. What is important, what is not important, important and urgent, what is not important and urgent, I always classify it inside my head. And when I had to take up on the role of a financial director about 7 years back, it was very important for me to learn finance as well, because I can't be believing somebody, whatever they say is okay. I need to know it. And I'm a person that would probably, due to my curiosity or, the nature, I would like to learn that also. And today I'm in a stage where I can, even do auditing. What is the GP? What numbers you want? You can ask me. So it's basically these tools that help me to juggle between various roles.
That's amazing to hear you, Divya. And I would also love to hear about the journey of Womb program that you have gone through. How is it that you have experienced? What are the changes in the mindset that this program has brought to you? So I would love to hear from you.
Definitely. Womb was, I was firstly attracted by the poster that came on LinkedIn, which featured Nirmala Sitaraman ma'am. Because last year, when I was part of the Pradesh Adivation program in BSc, I happened to represent as a one woman entrepreneur amidst the 17 other women. And there were 700 men. I was taken aback by the proportion of entrepreneurs in the auditorium. And when, of course, she's a role model to me, considering the journey that she has underwent to be what she is today. And the
True.
very next day, I'm seeing somebody post her a photo and receiving an award saying this is from Mentor My Board. I was like, I heard couple people talk about Mentor My Board, but then I was not really very sure. But then this became one of the USPs. And later, I also saw a lot of Divya's post, which was about womb. The whole idea of that name, first of all, intrigued me. Why womb? What is womb, first of all? And what is in it for me in that? So when I started looking for what it is for me, then I came to understand that that is one area of subject which I have not explored, and maybe my skills and abilities can also be sharpened through womb program. So that's when I signed up for womb, and I'm sure that was one of the best decisions I've ever taken in my life, because the kind of insights I gained from that program, I think nobody else will tell you, even on a coffee date or anything.
All right, all right. So how has it helped you to change your mindset or bring something new or different to anal engineering per se?
So, Womb has given an insight. When I was attending one of the board Tattva series, I came to understand that now my dream is very ripe, where a set of experimentations or tools which I wanted to introduce into the team, I felt that was the right moment once I heard the speaker was addressing in the Board Tattva series.
Right.
So at that point of life, I would definitely, I was intrigued, ki, why did I think that? Why didn't it happen before? Maybe now is the time. So we got ready to face the change management, which was uh, you know the time is now kind. So we got in
Correct.
touch with the people, and right now we are in the implementation phase. And a lot of insights for Anil would be in form of ESG compliances, where we are into sustainable, but and certain factors. I thought it would help Anil Engineering gain a new platform altogether.
Right. So we would love to hear from you about anal engineering and your role in anal engineering as well.
So my role in Anil Engineering, as of now, I perform the duties of a director. and also I assume myself as HODs when there is a requirement. Uh, I look into the overall plant administration, its smooth operations. I also handle the finance, human resources, and logistics segments.
So you handle a whole gamut of things under you.
Yeah.
Wow.
While my husband is the main player in making quality checks, he is a business developer. He looks into the R&D. Without him, I think the new product launch would come to a halt. So he's the
Okay.
one who is the brain behind all our products and the launching of new products which are demand in the market.
Perfect, perfect. And now, as we go ahead, I would wish to understand what are your, what according to you are the board skills that a person is required to become a director on boards of the companies.
So first, in my opinion, would be the confidence to first get into the board as it is. That is a primary requirement. After the confidence will be the knowledge part where one has to be at least be able to look into the balance sheets of any given company so that at least you want to save yourself. The two parts that I feel are very important, and be thorough with the compliance rules, the corporate governance. The compliance part is very important. Now that there's a lot of regulations, SEBI is changing the last few days. The essential skills would be these, in my opinion.
Okay. And do you wish to, being a promoter director of your own company, are there any hesitations or are there any, you can say limitations that you feel in your mind for being appointed as an independent director on boards of other companies? Because there are many promoters whom we speak to, where they say that I am a promoter of my own company and don't want to take the risk of, being an independent director on some another company. So just wanted to understand it from you. How do you look at these things?
Being an independent director is one's own choice first, and the next objective is to be have a clear vision for the company that you are going to be on board. What are the company associated with? What are the culture? What are the practices in and out of a company has to be understood well in advance before you make a decision whether you want to be on the board as an independent director or not. And after that, what kind of role do you want to play in that being an independent director? On what subject, as it is, you are interested to guide? You should also be aware that the board, the board qualities are also imbibed in a person. So it's very important. One has to be thorough with at least 360-degree knowledge of what is going on inside the company, or make an effort to know what is happening, especially on the compliance front, especially on the practices that the company holds, where you have to speak, where you don't have to speak, regards to that.
I think this is a very important point that you made with respect to the culture and understanding of the industry and understanding where you need to speak in the boardroom and where you can restrict yourself and hold on to your comments. Coming back to the point of culture that you made, so there are many companies wherein if you are going to be an independent director, you don't know about the culture of that company. And how is it that you think after becoming an independent director you can set the culture right, because you've been driving the culture of your organization very strongly is what I know. So if you can share some light on that.
The initial preliminary step would be to talk to the people inside the company of what is going on, what is restricted, what is not restricted, what is an okay thing to do, what is acceptable, what is their expectation. Because expectations has to be declared, because what is in the company's mind, anybody would not know if the expectations are not declared. So in terms of
True.
the KPIs or the KRAs or how the performance is measured, such questions can be asked beforehand when you are planning to join an organization as an ID. And once it is in coherence with what you are as a person and what decision you have made, you can have some points on where aspects you think a change is really required. Is a change really required is a questions that one has to answer oneself, because um, simply putting forth one's opinion or simply emphasizing on something which might or might not contribute is one aspect to validate totally, because the other board members has to be in accordance with what you say. They might have different opinions, so you have to take control of the board in your favor. Or what you have to do, if you have to be a team player with the other board members, have a conversation beforehand, before just like that putting into the boardroom. Analyze if the culture that you are planning would have a great outcome or add value to the brand as it is, or add value to the people working there. That I feel is important.
So, Divya, coming back to Anil Engineering, if I have to ask you, can you tell us what Anil Engineering does and what is the kind of culture that you have set in, or are there any changes that you've brought from your, HR background to this particular field of culture in the organization?
So, Anil Engineering is the original equipment manufacturer in the oil and gas segment. We manufacture products like safety fittings, vaporizers, which are used in the LPG, ammonia, nitrogen, argon fronts. And we also manufacture centrifugal pumps, which are operational in the same oil and gas downstream sector. Where there is gas involved, there are our products which is involved, and we are in the market for more than 52 years, and we don't compromise on quality per se. That is one culture which is drilled deep down. Any person you ask them in sleep also, they'll say the same thing, that quality is one aspect where we never compromise. The culture, the expectation revolves around the same. And the next best culture would be to promote more women in the engineering sector, where the gender bifurcation or the differences are not existing.
Wow. So this is a very good point that you mentioned about, empowering other women in this sector. And how is it that you are driving this from your end?
When I joined Anil Engineering, I was the only woman. It was a very small 4 by 4 room that had 4 chairs exactly, and all the men had seating. I did not have a place to sit. All the files that were arranged from previous years together was handed to me. Please take a seat there. So
Oh,
from there, my journey has been. Now I have with me almost 8 people at Anil Engineering and 6 women in VSPV. So I
okay.
believe that by only giving opportunity and by being, leading by example is the only way that you can imbibe women empowerment. It's like, I believe in the proverb that says, fix another queen's crown without knowing it was tilted. So I believe
Oh,
in that.
that's so sweet. That's so nice. A very powerful quote. And, there are hardly people who would actually create that kind of impact without surroundings coming to know. But it's a very powerful quote. Divya, share with us your mantras of success.
My mantra of success, I'm
Yes,
not
like
really
having
sure if I'm
so many
successful.
awards, from different, I can say, institutes across. I'm sure you would have some very important mantras to share with us.
Few
What
years
you
back, I came across this quote that said, get up, show up, and never give up. So that's one mantra I have been following. Even if you fall down, it's okay. Get up, shake up, you know, l- dust it all away, move on, and never give up. Keep doing the same thing in different forms, maybe till you get what your goal is.
Very nice, very nice. But what is it that has, sometimes caught you back, or you would definitely have faced many challenges during this entire journey? So, if you
Definitely.
want to tell us something about it, we would be happy to hear from you about the challenges that you faced and how is it that you overcame those challenges.
being in a male dominated industry, I don't believe all men are having similar mentalities, not at all. But there are certain people who really want to put you down just because you're existing over there in their presence, which might be, I have been questioned by officers in PSU sectors. Aapka idhar kya kaam hai? Why are you here? You don't even belong here. So, and in a country, in Morocco, when we had our oil and gas exhibition, we were having a stall. So a man from Japan was trying to, give a marriage proposal in front of my father-in-law because I was trying to propagate my product. It was I felt very silly. Can you please come up with something else if you really want, to put people down, especially women down? So
Oh my God.
we made sure it was not, the moment you take it into your heart, the moment it bothers you, the moment it stirs you inside, is where I felt you have given up. You have, let it bother you. So there have been certain instances where people have conveyed it to me, but like I said, I shake up. I don't give up.
That's so nice. I mean, you made a very important point saying that the moment you let it bother you, only then it affects you. So, this was a very strong point that you made because we've seen people even with minuscule things, they just blow up. So, that is where we also teach emotional intelligence in the boardrooms, how you should hold on to things, how you should not let it off. So, a very important point made by you, Divya. So it was really nice chatting with you, understanding your journey about, your personal life and about the Anil engineering, about being a director, a mother, and having awards, accolades. Thank you, Divya, for joining in. And it was really wonderful chatting with you.
Thank you so much, Neha. And finally, the one point which is important for a woman to be successful is the family that's backing her. Without the spouse, without the children support, and the family that's rock solid behind, I don't think we are able to come out. So that's one
I totally
gratitude
resonate.
that I have for all the families, all the women who come forward, and all the families that stand behind her for her success.
True. I resonate to whatever you're saying, Divya. All right. It was wonderful chatting with you. Thank you, Divya, and we'll catch up soon again.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mentor, my board.